The snow-covered streets of Chesterfield were filled with the sound of children's laughter and the scent of holiday spices. The season of joy had arrived. For the Harrington family, Christmas Eve of 1989 was supposed to be nothing short of magical. The fireplace crackled, lights twinkled on the tree, and smiles danced around the table. But amidst the warmth of this family gathering, something dark was already at play. Little did they know, the perfect night was about to spiral into a nightmare. Jacob and Lily, after years of hardship, had finally reached the dream life they longed for. A new home, secure jobs, two bright children, and the promise of peace. What seemed like a fairy tale holiday was destined to end in tragedy. A tragedy no one could have ever foreseen. The evening went on, filled with laughter, gift exchanges, symbols of all the love surrounding them. Yet, there was something there. An invisible shadow, creeping closer, something that didn't belong, lurking at the edges of their happiness. And then, it hit, unexpectedly, just as the clock ticked into the early hours of Christmas morning. The nightmare began. Welcome to Legends Lessons. I'm your host, Henry. The story tonight will stay with you long after it ends. One where love, obsession, and vengeance collide in the most unexpected of places. A chilling true crime story from Christmas night that leaves us wondering, can we ever escape the ghosts of our past? Stay tuned as we unravel the nightmare that struck on the night that was supposed to be filled with joy. The Harrington family's Christmas tragedy. Jacob, an honest and loving father, and Lily, his supportive wife, finally achieved the peace they had dreamed of for years. That night, the family gathered around the fireplace, exchanging smiles, laughter, the joy of family. But something wasn't right. Something in the air felt cold, unsettling. Lily, the matriarch, was the first to feel it. At first, it was just a chill, a slight shift. But then, it grew. A thickening presence as something ominous, something not quite right, wrapping itself around their happiness, whispering that tonight would not end as they expected. When Lily awoke in the early hours of Christmas morning, an unfamiliar silence filled the house. Jacob was nowhere to be found. Panic gripped her. What could have happened? The children were sound asleep, undisturbed, but the house, it felt different. Strange. She searched, heart racing, and then she saw it. At the foot of the stairs, in the shadows, was a figure. Jacob, his face pale, eyes wide open, frowning in horror. But what terrified Lily the most was the crimson stain on the floor beneath him, a dark pool of blood, spreading, whispering that he was already gone. His hand, cold, still gripped a knife. But he was no more. Murdered. Lily rushed to her children. Thank God they were untouched, oblivious to the terror surrounding them. But then, who could have done this? Why? As the police arrived, their silence echoed. No fingerprints, no sign of a struggle, no first entry. It felt like an execution, perfectly planned. But why? As the investigation dug deeper, a chilling truth emerged, one so terrifying no one could have imagined it. A small scratch on Jacob's back led them to an unexpected discovery. In the attic, hidden beneath dust and forgotten memories, Lily's teenage diary, a relic from her past. And inside that diary, a name from long ago. Craig's lover, a man who had loved her too much, obsessed with her. She had left him, escaped from his dangerous love, but he had let her go. Not really. He had been watching her, watching them all. He never stopped loving Lily or planning his revenge. For years, he had stalked them, hiding in plain sight, learning their routines, waiting. And Christmas Eve, it was the perfect night to strike. The perfect backdrop for the vengeance he had been plotting for years. When the police finally caught the killer, it was already too late. Lily's life, her Christmas, would never be the same again. The family she thought she was protecting had been watching from the shadows, watching, waiting for the perfect moment to destroy it all. This wasn't a random act of violence. No, this was personal, a cold, calculated act of vengeance. Jacob's murder was the breaking point. His killer had watched them, every move, every glance, every laugh, and as Lily thought she had finally found happiness, it was stolen away in a heartbeat. The investigation led to a chilling conclusion. Can we really ever escape the shadows of our past? Can we outrun a love-turned obsession? The price of obsession, the cost of revenge, is far darker than anyone ever realizes. Thank you for joining us tonight, and remember, every legend has a lesson.